Hi, I'm Jacob Shu. I'm the CEO of the Symbio group, and I'm informing Informulo.
Thanks, Jacob, for taking the time for the interview. Tell us a little bit about your company. You're based in China, but you have quite a few customers in Europe.
Yes.
Like who, for example?
So we do a lot of work for Nokia. That's actually our largest client. We do quite a lot of work from them, from developing mobile applications to helping them to design their chipsets, their integrated circuits to help them to produce multimedia and video more effectively. We basically are an advanced engineering partner and R&D services company for these technology companies. So Nokia is a large client of ours, Ericsson, Nokia, Siemens Networks, a number of companies, especially in Europe. We've been focusing a lot on mobile, telecom, and basically the mobile internet. And that's been a major area of growth that we see that, ties in nicely between Europe and China, because, our company's headquartered in Beijing. But, we see today China is really starting to emerge as a major center of innovation for mobile and the mobile internet.
Okay, so now in the last couple of weeks you did a merger with another company. Tell us about the other company and how the merger will help you expand your business.
So we just did a merger of equals with a company called Flander in Finland. And this company has about 500 very advanced, high-end R&D engineers in Finland and in Sweden. And the rationale we had for actually merging the companies was that we're headquartered in China, and we've got about 1,300 people in China. But the biggest challenge in China is that we're really looking for that high-end design and advanced architecture expertise, and that doesn't really exist yet today in China, just because the market is so new, and the IT industry in general is maybe a decade old in China. So to be able to find the true experts, the true global thought leaders in this area, especially in the area of mobile and the mobile internet, Finland and Sweden, they were the natural places to be.
Makes a lot of sense. So tell us what sort of trends you're seeing in the market and how your company fits in.
Well, certainly I think that, as can be seen with companies like Apple and Google, who really led the way of this sort of new paradigm shift of software, which is, in the old days of software, you had web companies were a separate company, software companies were sort of a different company, and mobile and embedded companies were different companies. There are three different disciplines, three different worlds, and they really didn't come together. Everybody was either a web company or a mobile company or a software company. But I think that, as you can see with a company like Apple or Google, today it's really about how do you create a seamless computing environment across all different types of devices, all types of platforms, from software to the web to the mobile devices. And that's what we're sort of seeing, is that people have talked about convergence for 10 years or more, but now I think we've really seen it happening. And I think it's going to happen. It's going to be, this melding, this converged world of software between mobile, embedded, and internet. I think that's really going to be the next major breakthrough in software.
What about dedicated devices?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing there?
Yeah, I think that's, from our perspective, the stuff that we're doing in our labs is all around a lot of purpose-built devices. We're working with two companies that I think are really emblematic of this sort of shift. First company is actually a very cool company called OpenMoko. They are actually, they started off as a Linux operating system, but they ended up creating a purpose-built device that basically gives people Wikipedia in their pocket. It's a device that basically allows people to have Wikipedia all the time with them, sort of like a pocket dictionary, if you will.
Does it exist now, or is it about to be launched?
It's going to be launched. It's actually going to be launched in August.
Okay.
And that's something that we've been working on, which is, I think, is a good example of sort of purpose-built devices, and the fact that it's getting so easy for companies to build their own device. Anybody can be an Apple going forward. Another very cool company that actually just is launching also this month, but they actually just did a great sort of coming out party at Computex, is a company called Fugu.
Okay.
And these guys actually, they're creating a very, very cool device, which is basically a small tablet that plugs into lots of different traditional white goods,
okay,
and turns them into smart devices. So if you can imagine, there's a refrigerator, and you can take this little tablet and plug into a refrigerator, and suddenly it's a connected refrigerator. or it's a television. They're talking about televisions and stereos, even coffee makers, and you take your little tablet with you everywhere you go and you just plug it right into the coffee maker, you plug it right into the stereo, and it carries all your content, it carries all your libraries with you, and enables you to basically take all of your media, all your content, all your entertainment with you everywhere and be able to just plug it into any device or any compatible device to what they're building.
And you help them develop that?
Yeah, and we help develop the software behind it.
Okay. So, how old is your company now?
Yeah, so our company is about 15 years old. It's you know, it started off really as a very small kind of the company started fully bootstrapped by the founders who were really original R&D engineers from IBM, and they basically bootstrapped the company. It was they started the company without a business plan, without an exit strategy, and really it was about just working on cool projects. So their first client when they came out of IBM was Microsoft, and Microsoft had us, the company, work on Windows 95, and that was what sustained the company for the first 4 years.
Okay.
Basically, it was a small captive R&D center for Microsoft to work on their operating system. And I joined the company in 1998, about 11 years ago,
okay.
As the first non-engineer hired into the company. So I was the first business person, if you would, into this company that at the time was really kind of R&D cowboys for hire.
Are you able to say roughly what the company's revenues are today?
Sure. So our company today is about 1,800 people around the world, about 1,300 in China, 500 in the Nordic countries, and about 30 in the U.S. This year we're going to do about 100 million in revenues, and that's up from about 60 million last year. And our goal really is to continue to build the company. I think in this environment, you know, given sort of the challenging environment for technology companies, I think this is going to lead to a major paradigm shift. Because when companies come out of this crisis, they're going to come to realize that, you know, there's a better, more efficient, more cost-effective way to create their software. And I think the software industry is going to go through the same changes that the hardware industry went through, you know, decades ago. You know, where today most companies that create PCs and devices don't do it themselves. They actually work with partners who do all the design work, who do all the manufacturing work. I think the same thing is going to happen with software. You know, people will focus on the design and focus on the user experience, and then they'll, you know, work with companies, partners like Symbio, who can help them to construct and build and take that product to launch.
Okay, great. Well, best of luck to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.